In this video, I'm going to show you 7 pro DJ transitions that's going to elevate your DJ sets instantly. These transitions are going to take you from basic to professional. And once you get them down, you're going to start hearing other DJs in a whole new way. You'll be like, oh wow, you can hear exactly where they're mixing and what they're doing. But even better, you're going to be playing with confidence and feeling like a pro behind the decks. Okay, so before we jump into the transitions, first we need to understand whereabouts in each song are we going to mix. So songs typically follow a structure, okay? So you may have an intro. So let's have a look at this song. So I've got an intro here, and every 8 bars, that's like the length of a phrase, there may be a change, like maybe they add something, you know? So let's say now, see, things are starting to be added, you know, and it's just still kind of teasing in themes of the song. And this is a super long intro, this one. But then when the intro drops off here, okay, that's typically the verse where they're starting to introduce themes, maybe it's vocals, maybe the bass pulls back completely, and it kind of builds up to the chorus. So the chorus here, well, the drop, some people call it, the drop is the first beat of the chorus, okay? And the chorus is like the main part of the song where people are going nuts. Then after the chorus here, it probably drops off. You can see by looking at the waveform there, it looks like a little drop off here, and have a listen. Okay, there, bang. That's that change. That's the phrases we're talking about. So it's important to hear those changes in the song. So this here, kind of like a second verse slash breakdown. That builds back up. Then you've got the second drop of the second chorus. And then when the chorus drops off, okay, I think it might be like, listen to the change. Okay, and there you've got the outro, okay? So that's the typical like structure that songs follow. So you got an intro, a verse, a chorus, a second verse slash breakdown, second chorus, and an outro. Now, sure, there's some variations on that theme, but I think the main thing that you should take from this video is that the chorus is the main part of the song. And when mixing, I would say be careful of messing with the chorus, because here's the thing. Let's say you're on a dance floor and all of a sudden the chorus is going nuts and you're into it, and the DJ plays half the chorus and just mixes out. It feels really unnatural. So one of the most common transitions of all time is to mix your new song in after the chorus. So that means people hear the big bit, and then the beauty of coming in after the chorus is after the chorus is usually the big bit. So after the chorus finishes, it usually drops off anyway, and that gives you a nice clean platform to mix. So have a look here. If I was going to mix in my new song, if I came in after this chorus, I've got a nice platform to do a mix there. Or if I came in after the last chorus, I've got all that space, that whole outro, to actually go and do a transition. So which chorus though do you mix in after? At least to start with, don't worry, as the video goes, we're going to be replacing the drop, doing double drops, even mashups on the fly. Like, this video is really cool. But the best place for you to start is to mix in after the chorus. But again, which chorus do you come in after? Do you come in after that first chorus into the breakdown or into the middle of the song? Or do you come in after the last chorus on the outro? That depends on you, how much of the song you want to play. But if I was starting out, I'd probably be mixing over the outro, because the beauty of mixing on the outro is the song's not going to kick back in. You've got a long period of time to practice your transitions, practice getting the mixing process down. And once you've got that, this first technique, I'm going to show you intro over outro, I'd be doing that for ages. And then once you're feeling comfortable with that, then you can actually move into the following transitions. But here's the thing. Let's say I want to mix on the outro. Now, I might just load up another song here where it's just really obvious. So let's say the outro's there on this song. Let's say I wanted to go mix on that outro. Let's go have a listen. There, okay? So that's the first beat of the outro right there. So let's say then, you know, I'm looking at my waveforms, I can see the outro's coming, I can see where it's dropping off, and let's say I hit play on that first beat of the outro. That means, man, like either hitting play with the volume up, which can be a bit clunky. I like mixing my song in underneath smoothly. And honestly, I like also giving myself some time to beat match. Now, I know everyone these days can be using sync, but if you are watching this video and let's say you're beginning, man, learning to beat match is a must. So let's give ourselves some time to beat match. Let's know how to DJ with beat matching. And later on, as you start doing more like, you know, effects and performance tricks, right? All taught in my course, like the course is gold, right? But Then once you're doing that, sure, maybe you can add sync, but only use sync once you know how to beat match. Honestly, stay true to the old ways. Like it's true. Beat matching, it'll save you one day. Like you might be playing a song and maybe the grids are out, and syncing is syncing to the grids. And if the grids are out, you might need to nudge it. So you definitely need to know how to beat match 100%. Okay, so here's the thing. I want to mix my song in on the first beat of the outro, but I don't just want to hit play there. I want to give myself some time to beat match, and I want to give myself some time to mix in over the end of the chorus. So that means by the time the chorus finishes, my new song comes in boldly, and it's like awesome. So what I do is I'd probably jump back a phrase or two. So songs are made up of like not only the structure of a song, like intros, verses, choruses, second verses, second choruses, outro, but you've also got the phrases, which are the parts within the song, the beats actually, before there's a change in the pattern. Now, again, I do dive way deeper into phrasing, and I've actually got ways to condition phrasing so you're never counting. You can hear the changes, you can feel them naturally, all within the course. I'm sorry to plug the course. I just love the course, man. Like, so it's helped so many people. And honestly, like on YouTube, I can give you all these transitions, I can give you stuff, but you'll never get from YouTube the structure that you get from a course. But okay. So we're going to jump back a couple of phrases, okay? So I find where the outro is. Then I go on here into beat jump. I'm going to select beat jump, and the phrases are 32 beats. So if I hit that there or down here, I'm going to go back 8 bars, 16 bars, and then I'm going to set a cue point, 16 bars before the outro. So how I do that is I go cue, then I go shift memory, and I've got myself a cue point, 16 bars. And that means if I introduce my new song at that point, I've got 8 bars to beat match, 8 bars to mix in over the end of the chorus. And at that point, that's where I'm going to swap my basses. Here's the thing. We are going to be incorporating EQ into these transitions. I did a video a few weeks back, actually like EQ mixing. So definitely go watch that. I'll link it in now, but that's actually goes hand in hand with this one. And it's going to really, really get you the foundations needed to kind of kill it. Okay, so let's do a transition, man. So this one's going to be, I'm just going to go intro over outro here. Okay, so I'm just going to go from the first beat. So I load my song. This is the mixing process. I check my BPM. So we might just match this one to the song playing. So I go match my BPMs up. I don't worry too much about that second decimal point. Like I can always tweak the beats. So I go, see how it says 128.00 and 128.07. As long as that first decimal point's the same, you know, I think that's kind of okay. We can wing it from there. So I've got my headphones on beat matching. I'm going to actually put my headphones on both of these for now. It's a good place to start. And then this song's playing. Okay. And at that cue point, 16 bars before the outro, that's when I hit play on this song. Let's go. Oh man, I love this though. 2, 3, 4, bang. Try not to look, beat match. Okay, cool. We're going to take down the bass. I come in gently for now. So I've got my bass down for the song I'm bringing in. I'm coming in carefully now. And then at that first bit of the outro, swap the basses. Tweak this a little if you have to. Don't worry, this is like practicing. There we go. Okay, see I'm sort of moving that a little bit. I've got a video on beat matching too. Check that out. And I'm playing them together. That's awesome. I love that. But it's taking a while to kick in. It's a good transition, intro over outro, but still this intro is super long. I'll show you how to fix that in a sec. You know what? How about I'm gonna jump, be a bit more advanced. I'm gonna tease in something here. So I'm teasing themes for the intro now into this transition, but still, if that's too much, don't worry. Just go intro and outro. I'm just sort of like showing the more advanced people, you know, stuff that we could do. We could even start peeling some of this back. Okay, that's the transition. It's going to kick in, take it out. Yeah, it's a fucking, oh man, I love these songs, eh? All right. Okay. So I suggest that you do intro and outro mixes for a whole playlist of songs. Go grab 20 songs, probably the same genre, and actually just go the first beat of the song. That's your in point, and your out point. Go find where the chorus is end and put a cue point 16 bars earlier, and just mix intro over outro. Okay, but now that you've got that, sometimes you might notice that your intro is just too long. Sure, you've got 16 bars to mix in, but then that first example, I was still kind of waiting for something to happen. So what we could do is to make things a little bit more energetic, we could go find where our new song kicks in. So say in this case, let's have a listen. You know, it kicks in here. Beautiful. So I go and find that. And then again, I put a cue point 16 bars earlier, which I've already done. I can select that up here. So we just go, I've got my cue point 16 bars, not just on the intro, but 16 bars then before something happens. And have a listen what happens then when I do that. It just makes the mix a little bit tighter. Cool. Just do bass swapping for now. And then we're going to swap the basses on that first beat of the outro and listen. See, the beats are slipping because that second one decimal points out, but that makes it fun. But listen to how tight that is. Yeah. It's good to practice beat matching and beat slipping. It's fun. It's more organic. See, it's drifting a little bit. See, it's just a little bit, trains your ears. But hear that mix though too? That's cool, man. Actually, I'm gonna jump back to the hot cue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I looked at the waveforms. Okay, and this one's gonna kick. Great time to take this out. Don't spill into the drop. Yes. Okay, but here's the thing. You don't always want to be waiting for the outro. Now, if you put on a song and maybe it doesn't get the best response, you want to mix out sooner. So this one, we're going to mix in after that first chorus into that middle of the song there. And hopefully, and this happens a lot, the chorus might drop off in the middle of the song and you get a nice clean break to mix into. During the next example, I'll show you what to do if there's not a nice clean break. But let's start with this anyway. Okay, so number one. So then I'm just going to mix in my new song after this chorus into that break. Which part I mix in is up to you. I think I've just gone and found, let's have a listen. Yeah, I'm probably going to mix this in. This I'll tease in over the end of the chorus, and I think I'll just drop the vocal straight in, so go into that. Okay, so I've gone and found the point that I want. Bang, found that. And then I've gone and put a cue point 16 bars earlier, which is that cue there. I can load that up, so I've already set my cue points. Okay, let's give it a go. Okay, watch the video last week on the EQ. Okay, you'll see I've got stuff that's a bit more like this. I'm protecting myself a bit more there. And if that's too much, that vocal, I can peel that back. That's the vocal there. It's not bad. And then I'm going to work up. I want to come in underneath for this one. It keeps the energy mixing in the middle. I love it. Okay, but then it's like, well, how long do you play them both together for? And that's up to you, but you can look at the waveforms here and be like, oh, maybe, well, this one's going to kick in anyway, so maybe it's just a good time to take it out before it kicks back in. Beautiful. But that's the big thing when mixing into the middle of the song, and that is how long do you play them both together for? The longer you're playing together for, the chances increase that your old song's going to kick back in. Say it does kick in, you've got a few things that you can do. You can just EQ it out. You could set a loop and loop the song before it kicks back in. So just grab a cool pattern so it holds that bit that you can mix in on. Or like in the next example, we could just mix out a lot faster and just get that song out quicker to avoid clashes on clashes. Okay, so in this example, what happens if there's vocals the whole way through? Okay, so let's say the chorus ends and it just goes straight into something and you don't really have a chance to mix out like that. And I used to be stuck when playing that. Like I was self-taught and like I was playing sometimes functions and stuff, and I'm mainly a club DJ. I ran my own club events for almost 2 decades, right? So I've played a lot of shows, but that was more, kind of all kinds of genres, but a bit more kind of like the dance and house and, all that stuff. But I have done functions and parties where you kind of are doing hip hop and that. And I'd be like, geez, how do I get out of it? You know what I mean? And what it means is it just means moving a little bit quicker. So in the last examples, what's happening, we're waiting for the chorus to finish, swap the basses and let them songs play together. But when you got vocals the whole way through, if I mix in over the end of the chorus and then just swap my basses, I'm going to have vocals on vocals. How about I give you an example of that, and then I'll show you how to fix it, okay? So how to actually do this transition and mix quickly. So you can mix songs that have vocals on vocals, or you can pretty much, say you've got no place to mix, you could use this technique to just mix anywhere you want, really. Like this mix is a little quicker. It's great to control energy because it's like bang, something kicks in. Man, this mix actually gold, but let me fuck it up for a second. I'll do it on house music in a second, but let's start with a hip hop song. So again, I've gone and found where the chorus finishes, and I have gone back 2 phrases, but with hip hop, the phrases are 4 bars. So I've only gone back 8 bars, which is 32 beats from the end of the chorus. Now I'm gonna fuck it up first. Okay, come in on the first beat of the chorus.
This is how we do. We make a move and act the fool while we up in the club. This is how we do. Nobody do it like we do it, so show us some love. This is how we do.
Now, in the last example, the chorus ends and we swap the basses. So now listen, we're gonna get vocals on vocals.
Nobody do it like we do it, so show us some love.
And it starts getting messy, kind of quick, fast. So what we're going to do is, the goal is instead of coming in and then swapping the bass at the end of the chorus, we're going to move on the EQ a little bit quicker to actually create space and then get that old song out and the new one kicks in. Let me show you.
This is how we do. We make a move and act the fool while we up in the club. This is how we do. Nobody do it like we do it, so show us some love. This is how we do. We make a move and act the fool while we up in the club. This is how we do. Nobody do it like we do it.
Okay. See, and it's a lot cleaner. See how that EQ work looked really rushed? Here's the thing, the phrases for pop music and a lot of vocal driven music is only 4 bars, not 8, which means you're doing things a lot quicker. Now, honestly, if I was mixing vocal driven music and R&B, pop, whatever, I would actually, because I've only got maybe an 8-bar intro to work with, I would be looping the incoming song, right, back to the first beat, and now I've got more time. I can have the volume up by the first beat of the chorus instead of like hitting play, beat matching frantically, doing all that very, very quickly. And looping in is going to give me a lot more time. I can mix it in and tease it over the start of the chorus. Man, I can just do so much with that, and it gives me more time. But that's another video as well, and again, all in the course. But I just wanted to show you then, the example there is, okay, sure, it did sound a bit frantic, but the goal is getting that out so the new song can just play on its own. But let's hop in. I want to give you a house example now, or I think it's more, tech house meets melodic house and techno, that kind of vibe. And let's say I want to go into Sweet Dreams, and have a listen here. This one drops off into this. Yeah, okay, you got that. But let's say I want this. Honestly, I think that should probably be on its own. You know what I mean? So I've gone and found where it's dropped off, put a cue point 16 bars earlier. And let's say I was playing this song previously, and I'm like, you know what? I want to mix in this song, but there's not really a gap. So I'm like, okay, I've got to then make my own gap. Okay, I want to come in underneath, tease in like a volume a little bit. I'm going to work down this time, with more of an impact mix. And this one out by the 1. Beautiful. And the key to making this work is, something must kick in on the new song. If you pull that back and it's an intro, it's going to be very like, you know, an anticlimax. You pull it back, something kicks in. So for the hip hop version, the verse kicked in. In this case, man, I created space for something powerful. Mixing like this, I call it kind of like avoiding vocals on vocals. It really is a powerful way to mix, especially when, you know, when you're playing two songs together, it sounds messy, just get the other one out. Okay, mashups on the fly. Now, yes, you can do this with acapellas, you can do it with stems, and again, I dive into all that in my course. I've got full stuff on that, but let's just keep it to using the full tracks and doing the full transition. So there's different ways we can do mashups, but the concept is, I guess you grab a vocal of one song and mix it in with a melody of another. Now, stick around because I'm going to actually reverse that, and that means I have the vocal in the main song and mix a melody in underneath. But ideally, it's probably putting personalities of two songs together and just making something that sounds unique, okay? So in this first one, I'm going to do the most basic form of mashup ever, and that is, say this song's going into a verse here and there's not much happening. Maybe I could go put the vocal over the top of that, and essentially that's a mashup. You're mashing up two songs together in a creative way. Let me do it. Cool. I could add some reverb if I wanted to. Yeah, I've got reverb on the effect here. I'll go to channel 2. We'll put it on this one. Yeah. Cool. And I've got this because there's not really any like clashing elements there. There's not a lot of bass on this. You only really need to use the EQ when you have to. Let's feel it.
Do it now, lick it good. Suck this pussy just like you should. Right now, lick it good. Suck this pussy just like you should. Do it now, lick it good. Suck this pussy just like you should. Right now, lick it good. Suck this pussy just like you should. My neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack. My neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack. My neck, my back, lick my pussy and my.
I'm gonna roll this one out. Beautiful. And that vocal made an otherwise boring breakdown way more interesting. Okay, but you don't have to restrict mashups to the actual breakdowns. I could go put a vocal on top of a chorus. Let's give that a go. If I wanted a beat, nah, but I don't. I don't want to, I could, if you wanted a beat, smash it up. But I want this bit on its own, I think. So I'm going to go straight in with the vocal here. And that maybe pull back these elements to create space for this. Keep the bass, so that's the bass personality of this one. Each has their own frequency band. No, I think I had it. Maybe I could make this one a bit more dominant and pull back. Maybe add a little bit of filter. Let's go this way actually. Create space for the drop. I'll go to this song, I reckon. So I use that. That's kind of like a mashup transition. Okay, so this one I'm going to flip it all around. So it's usually putting a vocal on a melody. This time I'm going to put a melody underneath this vocal. Okay. And it's kind of hard to beat match some of these bits though. There's not a lot of beat there. But I do know how to beat match. So sometimes use the tools, you know. I'm going to put sync on. Woo. Let me fall. Come in underneath. I know this is old kind of EDM stuff, but I like this, man. I know this transition. Create space for the drop, that's the theme. Make the drop hit. And then if I wanted to, I could then mix the verse in again, like just repeat that for the second, but I'd probably just move on, get to another song. Okay, now we have replacing the drop. So this is where it's building up to go to the drop of one song, and instead of going to that chorus, you go to the chorus of another song. Now, this is ambitious. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you know, people love the chorus, and if they love the song and you don't play the main part of the song, it can be kind of controversial, but there is some ways around this. So one would be, let's say the second drop is the same as the first drop. What you could do is you could play the original song. So you got one song playing, you play the verse, you play the chorus once so they hear that, play the second verse. And if you replace the second drop and the energy matches and maybe even takes it a little bit further, people will love that because you have given them a full chorus. To go and replace the first drop and not play the chorus of a song, sometimes it can be done. Like let's say you're playing a mashup, a pre-made mashup, and you love it. I'll give you an example in a sec. And you love it, but the chorus is kind of shared. Well, just go take that bit, then put the chorus on that you want. You know, there's a lot of, man, replacing the drop, it's a very energetic mix. But again, it's the kind of mix that you rehearse in advance and you find songs that work well together. Put it this way, mixing in after the chorus is a lot easier. This one, man, you know, yeah, like I said, rehearse it, find songs that work well together, and then you pull it off live, man. People are like, well, now how to do this? I'd actually go find the choruses of both songs, the drop, the first beat of the chorus, and put cue point 16 bars earlier. That means I've got 8 bars to beat match, then 8 bars to come in over the end of the chorus, and then I get that song out so the new one kicks in. Kind of like that avoiding vocals on vocals mix. Like instead of swapping on the one, you got to actually have the old song out by the time the drop comes in. Maybe even bring it out a little bit before to create that little bit of space for that drop to hit. Okay, so that would be how I'd be doing it usually, okay, like going back 16 bars. I might do an example of that. But sometimes the drops, the build-ups, right, might actually go really well when played together. And in this case, I actually like this song. I'm going to play this one. I like this song, man. Like, I know it's been around for a while now, but I like it, right? And that's 16, that cue there is 16 bars to that drop, but I want to play it from that. I want that to kick in. So in this case, I've actually gone and put a cue point 32 bars. Okay, that's 4 phrases before the drop. And I've also got a cue point on this one, 4 phrases before the drop. So both the cues are equal distance to the drop. That's important. Let's give it a go.
Imagine waking up to thunder without the rain, only to realize it's
Cool.
bass in your face.
Let's do, yeah, like a certain EQ structure. Let's, because this will just have a beat. Let's go. Yeah, man, I love both these songs. But yeah, I might keep this one underneath. So I'm teasing it. Maybe I'll put a reverb on this. I'm going to work up the EQ. At 8 bars to the drop, I start going. I think people would enjoy that. I liked it. Okay, this one's more of the traditional structure, so just working 16 bars before the drop. Let's give it a go. I reckon coming underneath fully here. I like doing that one down. Again, fully explain in so much detail in the course. Okay, double drops can be a really beautiful thing, and that's where you play both choruses together. But be mindful, you don't want to be playing two songs where both the choruses are really intense. Again, you're going to want to research this in advance and find songs that complement one another. It can work really well if both choruses may be unintense and they have complementary elements, right? Or if one's full on and the other one's not, that can work as well. But again, find something that works. So same kind of concept as the drop, and that means I put a cue point 16 bars and both the drops, like 16 bars before the drop, and both the drops are lining up. But instead of actually getting the song out, like the old song out by the drop, you're going to actually play them together. And I find this can be less jarring than actually replacing the drop, because sometimes when you go to replace the drop, you get the old song out and it can be like, where did it go? So even though we can put that old song back with the EQ, by keeping some of those elements in there, it kind of glues the transition together. Let me show you. What EQ? Yeah, okay, I'm going to work down. I'm going to work down the EQ. Peeling back on the old song. And I could even swap on the drop if I wanted to. If I wanted that panic room, that's that vocal there. See, it might tease that. I'm going to get that back in. There's not a lot of personality there. So let's see, I might get a panic room. I think it's going to go well into the panic room. Let's listen. Man. How long you're playing together for? Up to you, what sounds good, but I am keeping an eye on the waveforms. And this one's going to kick into a new bit. It's probably a really good time to take this one out, and also before this one kicks back in. So but then I'll take it out near the end, roll it out. And see there, I took that out near the end of the phrase, so the one has space to land. Okay, so this is the example I was talking about where it's a mashup of an old song, and I don't really like the chorus, but I love the mashup. So have a listen. It's this old song, I think Nina Simone. Is that right? Is that right? Anyway, doesn't matter. So it's got that and it's feeling good. It's building up to this, and I want this, but, and that chorus, I don't know, I find it a little bit underwhelming. But the thing with this one, it's very hard to replace the drop because the vocal goes the whole way up to the drop. So listen. And see, if I was just like, it's really easy to replace the drop when they both have a gap before the drop and you pull it back and it's like, whoa, and it comes in with a similar energy. But if your song goes all the way up to the drop, you know, double drops may actually work well. So let's give this one a go. And I'm having so much fun. I hope you guys are too. Like, I love teaching and hopefully I can help you, man. DJing's the source, you know, let's play more. Actually, I'm gonna hit and sing, woo! Because I'm gonna have the volume up. EQ becomes intuitive, you know. I want that feeling good, so I'll keep that in there until the last minute. So I've got this back. It just makes it, this one's dominating by far, but it just kept the elements to this one in slightly and just made it work. It's less, less like boom, bang, get it out. Double drops are sweet. Again, how long do I play them together for? It looks like this one's getting to a bit here. This one's getting out. We've got to move. Let's get it out. Just fade it. Okay, so those are 7 powerful transitions to take your mixing to the next level. And honestly, it is just scratching the surface. See, I haven't covered mixing with stems, acapellas, even using more than 2 decks, even using your sampler, adding effects, and so much more. Anyway, this is enough to get you started. But if you do feel like a more organized approach, with step-by-step instructions, my baby is my course, it's my legacy. So I'll put the link in the description below. But regardless, thank you so much. I'm happy to share info for free. I love it, actually. I love, the community that we've got here. I love DJs. You guys are my people. So yeah, man, get started. Let's kill this, man. Let's make the second half of this year, man, building into New Year's, really, really special. Let's go.